coached and played really, really hard. Thought they played harder than we did, and were really, really prepared tonight.
Seems like a tale of two halves. 59% shooting by them in the second half, 53 points. What changed in what they were doing and what you were doing?
You couldn't guard them. I mean, they were just better than us tonight. Couldn't defend them in man-to-man. Couldn't defend them in the zone. Give their coaching staff a lot of credit. I got to do a better job of preparing my kids in the second half. I couldn't make adjustments. Didn't make the right adjustments. They played better than we did.
Coach, compared to your 2 wins last weekend at home, this game was sort of a different animal. You guys punched back, they hit you guys back. It went back and forth for a good, 30, 32 minutes. Were the players getting a little frustrated that they couldn't, get the lead as they, they kept making shots, and you guys just could never get control of the game in the second half, and then you unraveled? What happened?
You got to ask the players that. I don't know how they felt. I can tell you, I've got to do a better job of preparing these kids for a game like this. And this is usual. This is a usual letdown. This is like, oh, it's only Lehigh, that type of deal with a young group. When really Lehigh went to the NCAA tournament, they got the Player of the Year. The kid McCollum scored 40-plus points this year, and I didn't do a good enough job of getting that point across to my young team and say this is a really good team. I know it's not Villanova. I know it's not Wake Forest, but Lehigh's a really good team, and those are the teams that you have to beat if you want to become a good team in the MAC. So I've got to do a better job with our kids. I got to do a better job with our staff communicating that to them.
Coach, you did have consistent scoring, though, for the first 35 minutes. Was it good to be in a game like this where it was back and forth instead of a game of runs?
You're not going to win games just on scoring. You got to get stops. And that's what we did in the Niagara game. That's what we did in the Canisius game. That's what we did in the first half of the BU game. That's what we did the other night, Tuesday night, in the first half of the Rutgers game. We held the Big East team to 20 points. It's unbelievable. And we let Lehigh score 30 points. Again, I didn't do a good enough job between Tuesday and tonight getting these guys to stay focused and play hard and understand that tonight's game this is the game. It's not the Rutgers game. It was tonight. Tonight was the big game.
RJ, do you feel like the team was unfocused for this one?
Not unfocused, but we didn't bring the same intensity we brought that weekend when we played Niagara and Canisius. And, I mean, credit to Lehigh, they came at us hard. They stuck around with us for that 35 minutes, and then they took control of the game. We just didn't play hard from the tip. I mean, if we'd have brought the same energy, the same nose, the same motive we had those 2 wins, it probably would have been a different ballgame. But we'll never know now because we didn't bring that energy from the start.
How important were the first couple minutes of the second half where they were hitting a couple of shots? You had a few turnovers here or there. I know you had to call a couple of timeouts. How important was that for the
It was crucial because Coach always preaches the first 5 minutes of the second half are like the most important minutes of the game because that's when you make the ball game. Is either you can separate or you give a team hope to stay in the game and eventually take the lead, and that's what happened tonight.
R.J. Menelik, did you guys get a sense among the entire team that when you guys were making shots but not able to take control of the game, did you get a sense that there was a lot of frustration among players, anyone in particular or general?
Coach preached from the beginning of the season. The nights we play good defense, the nights we're going to have good offensive games. Today, we weren't playing good D, and our offense was very stagnant. The movement wasn't as good as it usually is. The Niagara and Canisius game, the defense was off the charts, and so was our offense. We were moving, we were running, getting wide open shots, getting easy buckets. Today, the defense was stagnant and wasn't moving. It was a fight. I mean, we were making shots, but it wasn't easy out there scoring against Lehigh.
Coach, as your guys' defense played in the second half, you guys were still in it. 1 point game with 5 minutes to go. 3 straight possessions, you guys missed a 3-pointer and get 1 chance at the basket. Are those good shots being taken at that point?
I got to look at the film. I actually popped it in. I'm watching it right now. So when I get to the second half and I see you next week, I'll let you know if it's good shots. But I don't really remember the shots you're talking about.
Okay. Coach, against a larger team, were you happy with the amount of fast break production you guys got throughout the game?
It wasn't bad. We just didn't have the same energy that we've had in the past 3 games. I thought we should have been able to convert more transition baskets. I thought we should have ran harder. We were the smaller team, but we should have been the quicker team, and we didn't have the same energy tonight to get out and transition.
Menelik, they were hitting a lot more shots in the second half, but also you only allowed them to have their first offensive rebound 3 minutes to go in that second half. How important was it to rebound tonight, and how much did that help you stay in the game right until the last 5 minutes?
It's always important. We've been out rebounding most of the games this year, and the games we played the best is when we've been dominant on defensive glass. And coaches are always preaching to us, we got to be more aggressive on the defensive boards and don't allow second chance shots. And, I mean, that's what we did, and I guess that's what kept us in the game for so long. I mean, it's just the other little things, the picking up in transition we need to focus on, and everyone being together on a string on defense. We can't have breakdown, mental lapses, and all that stuff. It's not helping us, and it's something we need to work on.
Right, between the rebounding and you had 14, it's another good offensive game for you tonight. Corey had 10, you had 8 for Menelik. Is the interior play starting to become a strength, something to build on for this team?
Definitely, but I mean, it's still a team effort. I don't want to say the big should get the ball every single time, and I'm the biggest team guy. I believe in everyone should be contributing 1 through 15, and it just when you're hitting shots inside, we need to be getting something outside, and when you get the cohesion between the guards and the bigs, I mean, it's pretty much unstoppable. But like we were always saying, we need to get back on the floor tomorrow when we get to Vermont, and we need to just have a hell of a practice and just lock in on focus, because it's a long season and we've got more games to go, and we've got to concentrate. We can't keep having these mental lapses. We're 7, 8, 9 games into the season already. There are things we should have erased with the first 3 games. So definitely stuff we need to work on.
Coach, what can you say about the bench play tonight? You guys got into foul trouble early. Corey came in and got a double-double. They didn't, win you guys the game, but they kept you in it for the second half.
No, they've done a great job. KB's done a tremendous job coming off the bench. I think some of the pressure that he felt last year has been alleviated. He knows he's going to play maybe 10 minutes, and he goes in there with a clear mind, and he knows he can just play free and go in there, give us some good minutes, and then come back down and sit. And if he's having a night where he's contributing, we keep him out there a little bit longer.
Coach, looking ahead to Vermont, they're a team that's played 2 MAC teams. They're playing another 2. How much have you seen them this year, and then what sort of things are you going to need to do?
I got to watch some more tape. I'll be up tonight watching tape, and then tomorrow morning on a bus ride up to Vermont, and spend the entire day watching tape on Vermont. I know it's a team that went to the NCAA tournament, a lot like Lehigh in that sense. Not a name where people are like, man, it's a Big East team. It's a league. It's a team that's comparable to us. The leagues are comparable. It's a game that you have to win if you at some point want to become upper echelon of your league. Lehigh games, Vermont games, the Nova games are like, they look good on the media guide. The Rutgers, they look nice, but the games that you really have to win are the Lehighs, the Vermonts, and when you do that and you win those games, you know that you're moving in the right direction. We had an opportunity tonight, we just couldn't pull it out.
And, RJ, obviously not the result you wanted, but for a while there, going back and forth, was that just a lot of fun to play this game for a while?
I mean, yeah, it's always fun to get out there, but, I mean, going back and forth, a high-scoring game, low-scoring game, it doesn't matter. We wanted to win, and tonight we should have played harder, we should have did things better, but it was fun. It's always fun. Coach always wants us to have fun. He always preaches, this is a serious game, execute, but have fun playing basketball. So it's always fun playing ball.
One more question?
R.J., down the stretch, did you feel Lehigh picked up their defensive intensity, or was it a matter of your guys' shots that were going in before just weren't falling at that point?
I would say it was a mixture of both. I mean, we missed a few shots in the clutch. They started picking the zone apart, so it goes both ways.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.